Hi, everyone. This is Francesjones, the author of the soon to be released book, Overcome the Emotional Stigmas of Infertility, Bearing but Not Ashamed, releasing on March 25th, 2021. So, you know by now that I like to come in from time to time and share some experiences from my own life to help and encourage you who are going through the infertility journey. So, today's conversation is going to be things that you may want to consider before you say to a person who's challenged with infertility. I remember a movie many, many years ago called Beetlejuice. And in that movie, there was this couple whose name were the Deets. So the Deets had bought this really, really big house. And it was just the two of them, happy, living their lives. One day, the real estate agent decided to show up and pay them a visit. She thought that she could sell their house to a family. And so she was pressing them and pressing them, trying to get them to sell their house. She made a statement that stands out as I think about it, that movie today. Well, this house is so big and it's just the two of you, and it really needs to be sold to a family. When she said those words, you can see the emotion on the wife's face. There are things that you should not say to a couple or individual who is going through infertility. That's one of them. Now, whether this individual realized that the Deets were trying to have children, or maybe in her mind she was thinking, oh, they don't want kids. But what she did consider is she wanted to sell that house. She wasn't considerate of their feelings. She didn't think about how her words were impacting them and how it hurt them, not knowing perhaps that they had been trying to have children and she just wasn't aware of it. So I bring my message to individuals who are connected to men and women challenged with infertility. Perhaps you're a relative, so perhaps you're a coworker or a friend, and you just don't know. But here's some things to kind of consider before making those type of comments. Well, first, let me mention some of the comments before I say things to consider. So comment number one, you guys been married for a long time. When are you going to have kids? Comment number two, don't you want children? Comment number three, you guys will have some beautiful children. When are you going to have them? When the person that you know of have been married for a period of time, let's say even 1 year, and because they haven't had children according to your timeline, you may feel that it's okay to ask that question. Any normal person would say, hey, that's a fair question to ask. Because after, a person has a marriage, they get married. Yeah, one of the first things, some of them want to do is have children. But if you are dealing with someone that has, as I've stated, been married according to your timeline and should have children, consider before you make a statement like that. Consider that it's a possibility that there's something going on. Consider that that person may be trying to have a child and for whatever reason it's not able to. Respect the fact that that couple or that individual may be going through something, especially if you know they used to talk about having children a lot and they don't have any yet. Don't be so quick to ask certain questions. I remember prior to my getting married, I was dating my then, boyfriend who would eventually end up being my husband. And we were at his mom's house, just laughing and talking, having fun. And his mom and I were in the kitchen having a conversation. At that time, I was age 31, and I didn't know that there was going to be a near future of me being diagnosed with infertility. So in conversation, she's like, "You don't have any kids?" I'm like, "No, I don't have any children." And she asked me, "Don't you want children?" Well, of course I did. I love kids. Came from a fertile family, never thought anything would be an issue for me. So I exclaimed to her, "Oh, yes, yes, I want children." Not knowing that after I became married a few months later, I was going to be diagnosed with infertility. And through an over 20-year period, I was never able to conceive. Now, think if I was married to my husband and I'm now in awareness that I'm dealing with infertility issues. But let's say my husband and I have not shared that information with anyone outside of the two of us. And let's say that my mother-in-law, in good faith, not meaning to cause any problems, asked me that question. "Well, you and your husband's been married for a couple of years. Don't you want children?" Not knowing that I would have been trying very hard to. Consider that. And be a little, if possible, a little more sensitive to questions that you may ask to a couple that you think should have children by now and they don't. Think about that and have a little more awareness and a little more compassion for what others could be going through. Now, if you're on the flip side of that coin and you are that individual or that couple who has been diagnosed with infertility or who has been trying to have children and for some reason have not been able to, if you're that person, try your best not to let the comments of others destroy how you feel inside, cause you grief, cause you heartache, cause you sadness. If you're that person, I encourage you to just embrace where you are right now. If that's where you are in your journey, not being able to have children, don't let it rob you of your joy. I've said this on many occasions that infertility is like a thief in the night. And if you let it, it will rob you of your joy, your peace, your happiness, your essence in life. I just want to encourage you and let you know I know how it feels. I've been there, but I've also been to the other side. And I know how it is to be able to overcome those negative emotions and to find a way to have joy in life despite the circumstances that may be going on. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I would love for you to connect with me. Like I said, my soon to be released book, Overcoming Emotional Stigmas of Infertility, Bearing but Not Ashamed, will be releasing on March 25th, 2021. You can actually go to my website right now and go to www.heart, H-E-A-R-T, desires, D-E-S-I-R-E-S, coaching, COACHING.com. And you can get a free download ebook excerpt from my book. I hope to be able to connect with you. And if you like this video, which I hope you did, subscribe right now. Consider subscribing. I would love for you to support me in my efforts to encourage, motivate, and inspire and help men and women who are dealing with the disease called infertility. Thank you so much, and we'll talk later. Bye-bye now.